Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the leading TCG deck lists, and on today we have a top 8 Burning Abyss list from the UK and Ireland, which then became worldwide Extravaganza. So who have we got with me today?
Hello guys, my name is Kian. You may have recognised me from about God knows however long in Eternal format. I haven't left Dante. He's always been in my heart, and he's blown me to his top 8 finish.
Well, that's what you want to see, right? People sticking to their guns and playing a deck that they enjoy, and then succeeding as a result. So, before we get into the card by card, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you decided to play BA for this event?
First of all, BA best deck. I'm gonna get out of the room. It's something I'm really comfortable with. I have basically all the cards for it, so I just chucked it together. I've been playing it for about 3 months, I want to say.
Yeah.
I've been playing it since the ban list, so I think that's about 2 months now. I've just been loving it. In my locals, I've been having like a 80% win rate with it.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then I just want to give a big shout out to Gabriel Vargas for giving me advice on this deck, and then also come up with original list.
Okay.
Blessed be upon him.
Cool. So let's run through the card by card then. So first off, obviously there's the Absolute King Backjack, which is a pretty spicy addition.
Yeah, it's very strong, especially when you hit it off a Fiend Griefing. So you can go end phase Griefing, hit one of their cards, which they need. Send Backjack. Backjack gives you another trap and also stacks your deck for next turn.
Yeah.
So the amount of advantage you get off of Backjack resolving is just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's not a problem to draw it, right? You can still link it off into something.
So you don't link it, you would keep it in hand for discard fodder for Dynamiscus, Karmaka, and a Dragoon.
Okay.
It's a bit sad to draw it, but it's not the end of the world.
Okay. And you're not super likely anyway with 50 card deck anyway, so should be fine.
Very true.
Right, so BA names. 1 Alec, 1 Baba, 1 Calcab, 2 Seer, 2 Farfa. You got the 3 Graph, 1 Lebic, 2 Scarman, and of course the honorary BA name, Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Why did you pick these ratios?
So the 4 quote-unquote bad BAs are all there for versatility. Barber's got the biggest attack, so in some instances where you have Cherubini and say a Seer on your field, you can go Cherubini target Seer, send Barber. That Seer is now 3/4, so that's a way to out Dragoon quite easily in this if they don't realise.
Yeah.
Alec is nice. It's probably the best out of the worst ones.
Okay.
Calcab comes up when you're going against any sort of control deck. You just keep on looping it in the end phase. You can send it with Griefing. You can discard it off of any of the discard traps. And you're just getting your opponent off of their trap cards.
Yeah.
So then you can start just pushing on. Libic didn't come up too much today, but it's nice to have just in case you have a non-BA on your field.
Mm-hmm.
2 Seer is the correct ratio. If you play 3 Seer, the only time you're doing that is if you're playing either if you're playing Desires or playing 60 cards.
Okay.
There's no need for 3. 2 Farfa, 2 Scum, correct ratios. Playing 60, maybe bump Scum up to 3, but 2's fine. Then 3 Graph because that's your main guy.
Yep.
And 3 Rhinos is kind of mandatory in something which is bigger than 40 cards.
Yeah, I mean, it just doubles your graphs basically, right?
Yes, also just gives you versatility where you can send anything. You can send a Seer, a Scum, a Farfa, a Barber if you need to go for time, anything.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Then you got the 3 Tour Guides, pretty obvious.
Yeah, best card in the deck.
Yeah, until it gets Ashed or Valent, and then you're just like...
Then it's set a couple cards past.
Yeah, exactly. Then you got Dark Magician, Red Eyes, 3 Pot, and the Fusion. How did you find Pot in this deck?
Pot's very nice. It definitely gives a deck the consistency it needs. The deck can clog with either too many BA names or too many traps, so just having the 3 cards in there, which you can duality without the restriction from Special Summon.
Yep.
Just having a choice of them 3 cards can be the decider between winning and losing.
Yeah.
There's one time when I got it and ripped an order, and that order won me the game because of it.
Yeah.
And then Dragoon package is just too good not to play. If you don't want to play it, it means that you have to play out your skin every single game.
Yeah.
The Dragoon just gives you a little bit of a crutch where if you mess up once, you're fine. If you mess up twice, you're gone.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Right, so we're onto the traps then. So you mentioned the fiend griefing, you get to send the backjack, but obviously, I mean, you can send any of your fiends, right? So that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Then you got 3 Ice Dragon's Prison, so you got lots of ability to disrupt your opponent's graveyard here.
Yes, because in a lot of the times I've played, it's been against something like a Dragon Link, like some of the higher tiers of the decks. Against Dragon Link, the griefing can hurt a little bit if they do Chaos Space, because if they go Chaos Space, discard a light, you can fiend griefing back the light, and for that deck to get another light into a graveyard, it's kind of hard sometimes, so you can set them back a little bit.
Yep.
It's also very nice just going end phase griefing, getting a Scarm, follow up, and then just go Tour Guide into Verte, Dragoon, Beatrice, and just kill them that turn.
Yeah, exactly. It's really nice. Disruption that is also set up is always good.
Yeah. And then Ice Dragon's Prison is just one. I'd say it's the best normal trap of this format, easily.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Okay. And then you got the Order, which of course you can rip off Prosperity, is always nice.
Yeah, or it didn't come up too much today, but Order is such a killer. If you open Order plus just normal combo, so Graph plus a BA or a Tour Guide, they're not breaking that.
Yep.
It's almost impossible to do so.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So then we're on to like the sort of more standard traps, I guess. So you got the discard traps like the Karma Cut and the Dynamiscus, and then the board wipes in Needle Sealing and Torrential. Strikers, you know, it's not Striker Strike, still very good.
Yeah.
And then 3 Trap Trick just gives your deck way more consistency. You can start picking which trap you want to play, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's why you play a lot of them at 3, just so you can make sure you have access to them almost all the time. You play 2 Karma because it's not the best, but in certain situations it can be a killer against Eldritch. If you banish a Eldritch on field, it banishes one in grave as well.
Yeah.
And most decks only play 2, so then that just kills them off.
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to deal with. Okay. Extra deck. You got the 1 Fusion Dante for when people kill your Beatrice, which is quite funny. Dragoon, Beatrice, 2 Dante. You didn't want a 3rd one?
Never came up. 2 is standard. You never need a 3rd.
Sure. Okay. 1 Zeus, 1 Downer, so you get more materials on your Zeus. 1 Fortune Tune. Is this just for time, or is this just something that's
Fortune Tune is the MVP of the extra deck.
Okay.
So against Prank Kids, if you summon 2 level 3s, if they don't butler there, they're losing their whole field. Because Fortune Tune can't be targeted. If we destroyed, you can just detach material from itself instead.
Yep.
It doesn't activate, and that's not once per turn either. So they can use both butlers. You just attack in second defense position, main phase 2 downward into Zeus.
Yep.
And it's game from there.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. And then for the links, you got the access code, which you've already mentioned. Nice little bit of an extra OTK. Cherubini, which you kind of have to play.
In all honesty, you can cut Cherubini.
Okay.
Like it comes up for me because I like using the card.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot more versatility, but if you was going to cut something, you could cut Cherubini.
Okay. So you just drop the consistency, but you still stick with like the typical power plays of like IP and Anaconda and stuff, right?
Yeah, so if you're going to cut the Cherubini, it would have to... First of all, the format has to shift a little bit, because right now Cherubini is very strong.
Yeah.
But if things happen in the format, it can literally be cut, because it's more of a turn 3 to turn 5 play.
Okay.
So it's nice, it's just not mandatory.
Okay, sure. Right, so then there's IP Unicorn, Link Spider, which is is that for the Dynamiscus?
For Dynamiscus and for Nibiru tokens.
Yeah, okay. Anaconda and Trisbana. I love Trisbana. It's one of my favorite cards.
If you make Trisbana with IP Masquerena on your turn against Zero Lich, they just die.
Yeah.
They can't deal with the card.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then onto the side deck. 3D shifter is pretty ballsy, I gotta be honest. Like, it's that's a hard commit.
So the whole mentality with this is, you play so many traps where you can just shift your opponent, either just make a Zeus, clear their field, and then set all your traps and just play then.
Yeah.
Or literally just set all your traps, they're set back a turn, so it's like you just went first, but they get a summon.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And then you got the Droll and Nib, that both super impactful hand traps at the moment. You didn't want to play Lancia? Because you got the D-shifter anyway?
There's no real deck which feared me, which needed to banish a lot.
Yeah.
Dragon Link a little bit, but that still is cleared by all these 9 hand traps.
Yeah, exactly.
I only resolved Nib once, and it won me my last match, which was nice, but it's okay. Droll never really came in, I don't think. So a lot of the side deck I just didn't use, apart from what we're going to get onto after this.
Okay. So after this, we've got the 3 anti-spell fragrance.
Yeah, this card is a killer.
Yeah.
To turn off all the spells for a turn. It gives you a little bit of breathing room, so they can't use their power spells like a Chaos Space. They can't activate the field spell. Prank Kids can't fusion summon.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the Calcab bouncing everything as well, you just like...
Oh yeah, you can just set them back about 3 or 4 turns just by having 1 or 2 cards. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then of course Triple Judgment, because you gotta stop the board wipes and stuff from your opponent that power plays.
When you know you're going first, it is probably the best card to put in. It just covers everything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So in terms of siding stuff out, what would you normally drop? Is it specific traps, or do you take any of the engine out?
So, depending on if I'm going first or second, and depending on the matchup.
Okay.
Things like anything Involt related, I normally take all the torrentials out because against Meltdown it does nothing.
Yep.
Then a lot of the time I do take out like a Barbar, I take out an Alec, occasionally a Calcab if it's more of a combo deck. So just taking out 1 or 2 BAs is fine if you need to see your power traps will break the board.
Yeah.
You don't need the BAs to do it.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Cool. Have you got any shoutouts that you want to give?
Other than to Gabriel Vargas, please be upon him again. Shoutouts to my YouTube channel, Smile, Wink. Master Diamond on YouTube, also on Twitch at Master Diamond YuGiOh. Go follow me on there. Other than that, not really, no.
Cool. Thanks very much for coming on. Congratulations with your top cut, and great to see BA back in it again. I gotta say, I'm always a fan of a little bit of Graph, a little bit of Dante.
Best deck. BA best deck.
Thanks. Cool.